Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. Manchester United are into the fourth round of the FA Cup after beating Everton 3-1 at Old Trafford in the FA Cup third round. It was a good performance by Manchester United. The goals came from Anthony. He scored the first goal in just 3 minutes. He tapped in from close range. It came from Marcus Rashford's far post cross. Good to see Anthony get back in the team. He missed the game against Bournemouth. Manchester United got Anthony from Ajax for €100 million. That equates to 86 million in pound sterling. Everton equalised through Conor Cody. It was a mistake by David De Gea. Conor Cody also scored an own goal in the second half. Marcus Rashford scored an injury time penalty. Man United won the penalty because Garnacho got brought down by Ben Godfrey in the 6-yard box. Rashford has took his tally to 13 this season. And Rashford has scored in 5 successive games for the first time. Erik ten Hag is backing Marcus Rashford to keep scoring. Revert back towards the start of the season, Erik ten Hag targeted Rashford to score 20 goals this season. So yeah, there were the goals in the game. Marcus Rashford, he did provide the assist for Anthony's goal. Rashford could have had more than the one goal. You know, he had a very good long-range effort that produced a good save from Jordan Pickford. He had a very good chance as well from that free kick that Jordan Pickford tipped over the bar. Last year, don't forget, Man United extended Marcus Rashford's contract by 1 year. Rashford has been part of the club for a long time. He risen up our academy. He's been a United player since the age of 7 and he broke into our senior squad back in 2016. In all competitions, he has over 100 goals. By the way, Ten Hag hints at a new position for Rashford. Most of the time he plays on the wing, but, you know, Ten Hag could decide to put him as a centre forward. Anthony Martial, you know, he had a couple of chances in the game. There was one chance he had when he was one-on-one with Jordan Pickford. It was a good save by Jordan Pickford. Martial had a chance that just went wide. Don't forget, Martial came off injured in the 3-0 win against Bournemouth. Martial will probably stay at Manchester United this year, but he'll leave next year. Well, it depends if Man United can get a striker in, don't they? You know, if we get a striker in, that will probably see Martial leave. You know, he's under contract with Man United till 2024. Last season, Martial was out on loan with Sevilla. Martial's been at Man United since 2015. Man United got him from Monaco. Bruno Fernandes, he had a good chance as well in the game. Everton, you know, did have some chances in the game. Don't forget, Demarai Gray hit the post. That was just before Everton equalised. Seamus Coleman had a good chance, produced a good save from David De Gea. Dominic Calvert-Lewin had a goal disallowed for offside. He was just slightly offside, so it was the correct decision. Alex Iwobi, by the way, went off injured in the game. Everton had some players out. Obviously, there was no Nathan Patterson. You know, he was out with a knee injury. Townsend, of course, has been injured. Michael Keane, he's another one that's been injured. James Garner, of course, missed the game through injury. Don't forget, Everton got James Garner from Man United. So there were the players that Everton were missing. Man United only had a few players missing. Obviously, Sancho played no part. He hadn't played for a while due to lack of fitness. Prior to the game, Erik ten Hag said, you know, he will be patient with Jadon Sancho as he awaits his Manchester United return. Tuanzebe, of course, you know, he's still out with injury. So they're the only players Man United were missing. Reflecting on that win, by the way, that's 8 wins in a row at Old Trafford. Surely this will get Frank Lampard the sack. I'd say all Everton fans are demanding Frank Lampard to be sacked. Well, I said prior to the game, didn't I, that Frank Lampard, he's not a good enough manager. You know, he's inexperienced. He doesn't have a proven pedigree. You know, Lampard has been the Everton manager for like a year or so. He got appointed in as the Everton manager back in January last year. He's under contract with Everton until 2024. Because when he got officially appointed in, he signed a 2.5-year deal. Before Everton, he managed Chelsea. He got sacked by Chelsea, even though he is a Chelsea legend. And before then, he managed Derby. He began his managerial career at Derby. Lampard was obviously the one that replaced Rafa Benitez, because was it last season, Everton sacked Rafa Benitez. Wasn't good enough. You know, they had Carlo Ancelotti at one point, and Everton were very good under him. They should have kept him, but Ancelotti decided to leave Everton to make a return to Madrid. Before, they had Duncan Ferguson in as interim manager. He enjoyed like 2 spells as interim manager at Everton. We was it a few years ago, they had Marco Silva. He wasn't good enough, so Everton sacked him. Roberto Martinez, I've got to say, Everton were very consistent under him. You know, could he possibly make a return to Everton to replace Lampard? A lot of years ago, Everton had David Moyes, and Everton were very good under him, even though David Moyes didn't win anything. Moyes enjoyed like 11 years with Everton. But, you know, Everton, you know, have lost players. You know, they lost Richie Arledson to Tottenham. He was a key player. They lost Lucas Digne to Aston Villa. At the time, he was part of the deal of Everton getting Anwar El Ghazi on loan. They lost Alan, Andrea Gomez. So they are players that Everton have lost. And let me put into the equation that Man United have done transfer business with Everton before. You know, back to 2017, we got Lukaku off them. 2013 got Fellaini off them. And revert back to 2004, we got Wayne Rooney off them. But yeah, second time we beat Everton this season. You know, beat them yesterday in the Cup 3-1. And Man United won at Goodison Park in the league earlier on this season 2-1. Manchester United's next game is Charlton in the Carabao Cup quarter-final. I'm expecting Erik ten Hag to heavily rotate in that game. He'll play the second team because Charlton are League One, but there again it is the Carabao Cup quarter-final. But obviously ten Hag's going to rest key players for the game against Manchester City. As you all know, the other day, Man United confirmed the loan signing of Jack Butland until the end of the season. Man United are paying his wages. He's obviously back up to David De Gea. Jack Butland, I think, will make his debut against Charlton. Jack Butland was Erik ten Hag's first signing of this January transfer window. Jack Butland has only come to Man United because obviously Martin Dubravka's loan got terminated. Jack Butland obviously joined Crystal Palace back in 2020. Only made 10 appearances for Palace. Palace at the time did get him for just $1 million. He officially signed a 3-year contract when he signed. Before, you know, Butland's had loan spells with Derby, Leeds, Barnsley, Birmingham. He had 2 loan spells at Cheltenham before. Obviously, he was at Stoke City as well, where he was in goal regular. Manchester United just need a striker now to replace Ronaldo. And Erik ten Hag did admit that Man United are trying to sign a striker. This January transfer window is Erik ten Hag's second transfer window as Man United manager. You know, Ten Hag has spent over 200 million as Manchester United manager. Revert back to summer of last year. You know, he brought Terrell Malacia in, Ericsson, Lisandro Martinez, Casemiro, Anthony, and he brought Dubravka in. Ten Hag, you know, he's also let players go as well. You know, a lot of players left the club last year. Lee Grant left, Henderson went out on loan to Forest. We'll get rid of Henderson permanently. You know, he got rid of Tellez. You know, he's out on loan with Sevilla. Get rid of him permanently. Bailly's out on loan with Marseille. He'll get rid of him permanently. Pogba and Matic left on free transfers last year. Pogba went back to Juventus and Matic went to Roma. So he's been reuniting with Mourinho. He sold James Garner to Everton. Andres Pereira got sold to Fulham. Lingard left on a free to go to Forest. Ronaldo got sacked last year. Obviously, as you all know, Ronaldo is now at Al Nassr. His debut not so long ago got delayed because he received a 2-match ban. Last year, Cavani and Mata left on free transfers. Ethan Laird went out on loan to QPR. Mejbri went out on loan to Birmingham. And Amad Diallo Traore went out on loan to Sunderland. So they're a lot of the players that departed the club last year. And certainly this year, Ten Hag will be getting rid of more players. But Ten Hag, he's definitely the right man for Manchester United. It's only took, 6 years or so for Man United to find the correct manager. There's been a lot of games so far this season where I do like the way Ten Hag's approached them. Like I've said, Ten Hag's expectations this season is to get Man United a top 4 finish. Man United are 4th in the league at the moment, joint points with Newcastle. And if you could win a trophy this season, that'd be even better because Man United have not won a domestic trophy since 2017. We've got a chance of winning the Carabao Cup. We could win the FA Cup. We're in the title race. I don't think we're going to win the league this season. There again, if we beat City and Arsenal, which are our next 2 league games, then we're certainly in with a chance then. Let's see what happens. But Ten Hag replaced Rangnick last year. He's under contract to United till 2025. He's Man United's 5th permanent manager since Sir Alex Ferguson. Don't forget Ten Hag last year got named Premier League Manager of the Month. Don't forget Ten Hag was the one that recommended Mitchell van der Gaag and Steve McLaren to the club. Also at Man United, you've got Benny McCarthy, John Murtough, Richard Arnold. Last year, Sir Alex Ferguson came back to Man United in an advisory role. The Glazers are still at Man United, but I think they'll be gone by the end of this season. Towards the end of last year, it says the club is aimed to be sold by spring, which is March time. On the 30th of December last year, don't forget, Avram Glazer was spotted in Doha, which is Qatar, trying to sell Man United. Last year, it said the Glazers set an asking price of between 6 billion to sell 7 billion to sell Man United. The Glazers have owned Manchester United for around 17 years. They purchased the club for around 790 million back in 2005. So there you go. So anyway guys, that's everything to update you with. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel if you do. Consider subscribe as always and take care. God bless. See you all again very soon.